Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today, oh my god, I look wild. Today we're going to be doing an everyday look. I've been wearing a lot of Fenty Beauty, obviously since the line came out. So far, I'm really enjoying a lot of the stuff and have been using it as part of my everyday routine. So I'm going to share that with you guys today. Before I get into this video, I want to say if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click the bell notification so that you'll be notified every time I post a video. I'm moisturised, my hair is ready, it's pinned back. The first thing that I'm going to do is prime. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer. If you are looking for something that is going to kind of hide your pores, something that's going to help if you got texture, this is definitely not it. As you can see, it kind of comes on like a moisturiser. I am enjoying the primer along with the foundation. I think the primer along with other foundations, I don't love it as much. Now we are done with colour correcting. I'm going to go ahead and apply the foundation. We are obviously going to be using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I'm in the shade 420 for your reference. Blaze it up. To cover my face, I do 4 pumps of this foundation. I know a lot of people are saying it's so mattifying, it can be quite dry. For me, it's the perfect consistency. It's mattifying in the sense that you don't necessarily have to set it with a powder after, and it also does a great job at making your skin look very flawless, very lifelike at the same time. It doesn't take the life out of your skin, it gives you a little bit of glow, which I think is nice. So this is the foundation. This is what it looks like after about 4 pumps. I did add a little bit just because I'm suffering with a little bit of hyperpigmentation on this side. I didn't want to overkill it because I'm going to put concealer and do a lot more things on top of it. So I just figured let me just let it chill, and obviously once it's set and I do put my powder on, it will become a bit more full coverage anyway. I'm just going to use this Beauty Bakery Flower Setting Powder in yellow to set my face. Sometimes I have dilemmas with this foundation because I'm like, should I set it? Should I not? Should I set it? To set or not to set. I hope that you guys can see this on camera, but it's pretty good at just kind of setting itself. I just set it because there's been some days where I have worn it where I've got a little tiny bit oily, so I don't want to take any precautions, especially since I'm filming this and another video afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and set this, and I love the Beauty Bakery powder anyway. I think it's super nice. When I typically do this everyday look, it's usually for a look on a day when I'm going out. I'm probably going to be out the whole day, so I do need maximum protection even though I don't have all the time in the world to get ready. Now I'm going to go ahead now and use my selection of matchsticks. I'm actually going to be using the shade Latte to conceal. I'm not going to use Truffle, which is what I actually grabbed to contour with because I found that it's just a bit too light. But I'm going to use Latte to conceal. Now this is a bit too dark for me. I definitely do use something to lighten it up, but I will show you the trick that I've got to kind of get the best out of this concealer. So of course I'm just going to highlight in the obvious areas now. Even though not every day, I still do a full beat, so. So once this is all set down, I actually do go in with Tarte Shape Tape as well. For me, the two of these are the perfect combo. If I need makeup that's going to last all day, then I'll just go in and put a tiny bit of the Tarte Shape Tape on top, just to make sure that I've got that extra full coverage, and just to make sure that my eyes are looking bright and awake. Now I won't put as much of the Shape Tape as I normally do. It's literally just to give it even more coverage and a tiny bit more of a lighter colour. Something that I do like to use Truffle for though is contouring my nose. I find that it's super quick, and I actually like when I have all of my like highlighting products on alongside like a nose contour, because then I just blend it out together, and when you blend it out they actually blend quite seamlessly together. Do you guys see how melted and like creamy and soft that looks without being like too much? And there we go, it's all blended out in about 2 seconds. Like I said, these are dry, but if you wet your sponge a lot and blend it out, I found out with a dry brush they don't work as amazing for me. With a wet sponge, that's the best kind of technique and result for me. This is a Morphe highlight and contour sponge for you guys, just to show ya. Now it's time to contour. I'm just going to go ahead and use the usual suspects, and then I'm going to clean up my contour, and when we're done we'll be ready for blush, highlights. We're actually going to be using Trophy Wife. Yes, I do wear that on an everyday basis, so get ready. I'm back looking as crazy as ever. I find that whenever I'm using the Fenty Beauty matchsticks to kind of highlight and contour, I always forget to set it. I don't know, because they kind of just set themselves so quickly. So it's only once I'm like baking and like cutting my contour and all that stuff that I'm like, hold on, it's looking super dewy up there, that I remember. I'm just using a tiny, like really tiny layer of the Beauty Bakery powder. I might just even dust that off just a tiny bit because I want to keep some of that dew. I'm just going to bronze up quickly. I'm going to apply some blush. All of the products that I have used that are not Fenty Beauty, I will list them down below. I figured that you guys probably just want to see Fenty Beauty stuff, so I just figured, obviously, for the products that I normally use, I won't go ahead and show you it. I'll just show you how I incorporate Fenty Beauty into my current everyday routine. One thing I did want to mention though, I always like do like a forehead strobe to give me that really like lovely dewy everyday dew, you know, that everyday glow. Just gonna blush super quickly, and then I'm gonna show you the highlight combo that has been getting me through the week. Ready for highlights. Now I find that with Trophy Wife as well, fan brushes do work better for me and I can control it a tiny bit better. I have a brush like this. This is the Morphe R36 and this is the Morphe M310. This is like a really popular fan brush. The way I've been using Trophy Wife is literally as like a topper on top of every single highlight that I've been wearing, and the highlight that I've been loving wearing this on top of is this one by Colourpop. It is in the shade Bay Area. I'm gonna kind of apply Bay Area just to the cheeks as like my starter highlight, and then we're gonna use Trophy Wife on top as like the, as you can see, these are so metallic and so highlighted and so wet. Did you just one swipe, and that's just one highlighter, guys. Wait until we put Trophy Wife on the top of this. It's just gonna be splendid. So obviously now we're going to go in with Trophy Wife. I'm actually going to use this on the face and on the eyes. For now we're just going to go in with a light layer. I'm literally just going to apply it and then dab it. Oh. Now that the face is generously highlighted, I'm actually going to go in with eyes now. I'm going to go in with somewhat of my Life palette. So one of the new additions that we're actually going to use is this shade right here. This is Morocco by Makeup Geek. We're just going to put that all up in the crease. And then for the lid, we're going to use this shade just here. This is called Peanut and this one's by Morphe. I'll literally just drag this shadow into there. It just opens up the eye for me a bit more and gives me a bit of colour up in there. Especially when we just pop Trophy. Oh, let me surprise. For everyday looks, I like to keep my eyes really light. I don't want too much drama, especially if it's the daytime. Actually, I don't mind a little bit of drama even for the daytime. If I do a look like this, I'll just use a tiny bit of something to deepen the crease. So what I do is a mixture of Makeup Geek's Cocoa Bear plus Morphe's Deep Cocoa just there. And I will apply a tiny bit of that to the outer corner and just under my lower lash line. A tiny bit, just to give me a tiny bit of intensity, a tiny, vraiment tiny bit of drama. So even though at first the look looked super dark and there was quite a lot of darkness in the corner, I've just used that peanut shade to kind of cover up the whole lid and make my eye look a lot more open and awake and bright. For even that little more pop of extra to make our eyes look even more brighter, we're going to go in with Trophy Wife, and I'm just going to actually put this into my inner lid just here. I've been loving just this. If you do like a super simple look and just pop this in the corner of your eyes, it just like gives you like a little something. Just elevate something that was like a boring look to something a bit more wow. For everyday mascara, I just use the L'Oreal Paradise Ecstatic Lash. For lashes, I'll either use Backstage Beauty's lashes in the style Hollywood, or I will use Cocoa lashes in the style Soho. Now we don't want this look to be too dramatic, so I won't go ahead and apply like too heavy of a coat of mascara on the bottom lashes or anything, but I want them to be a tiny bit visible, but I still want them to look fairy like and doll like, so this is good. To complete my everyday look with brows, I actually go in with the Colourpop brow color. I use this absolutely every day. If not this, the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow definer. Also use this Anastasia Beverly Hills clear brow gel. So what I actually do now, which is an extra little step that I just added to be extra. So when I actually take off my powder just on my face, normally I just use a clean brush, but recently what I've been doing to give me that super glowy look and to not have so much like powder looking like cast there, if you get what I mean. What I've been doing is just going in with a bronzer on the same bronzing brush, and I'll just not go crazy with that as I just did, and I'll just use that to kind of clean off the powder. This way it's not so much of like a harsh contoured look, it's more of a soft everyday natural look. Smashbox Primer Water. This is pretty much part of my everyday routine. Before I apply my lips, I'll just go ahead and set my face. This way it just kind of sits and just lets everything sink in while I'm doing my lips. I'm using this Kiko 321 pencil. I'm using a light pink matte lip and then I'm using a light pink gloss. So I like to line it to give it a bit more definition and you don't want it to look crazy. And then for the final piece of the puzzle, I'm going to use the Fenty Gloss Bomb over the top of it. I really adore this shade, but I find that on its own it doesn't last as long and it doesn't like sit as pigmented on my lips. So putting a really light matte liquid lip paint underneath it, for me, gives me that colour and that pop. So this is the final look done, guys. So what I normally do on an everyday basis is pop my pearls on. I'm always wearing pearl earrings each and every day, and I've actually got my hair curled in a really nice loose everyday beach wave, so I can really be living that California life. So let me just go ahead and brush that out and I'll be ready to go on our way for our everyday look. So guys, this is the finished look. This is typically what I do on an everyday basis. I'm pretty much a full coverage queen. You're never gonna find me doing a, what are they called again? Beauty base. What are they called? BB cream. So this is pretty much what I do on an everyday basis. Obviously with the inclusion of Fenty Beauty now, I feel like I've got a really nice, just quick everyday routine. I hope I can chop this video down so it looks quick. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. If you haven't watched my Fenty beauty review, go and watch it because I speak a lot more about these products in detail. Don't forget to connect with me on my social media. Again, if you made it this far and you haven't subscribed, what you waiting, what you waiting, what you waiting? Thank you so much, guys. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.